Hi, my name is Jack Starr. I'm an investigative reporter. I started being one long before the term was invented. My specialties were in technology and business reporting. I was very heavily emphasizing areas of energy and computers. And the reason I am doing this series is because I was shocked by an article which has just appeared in a journal that talks about the fact that renewable energy is not green. And I believe that the author made a significant error in the fact that he used a premise that is false and then built a lot of true statements on top of that premise, and I want to go over those with you today. This will probably be a short series of videos as we tackle a variety of different areas that have been breached by this particular author. His name is Professor Jesse Ausubel. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. He's with the Program for Human Development of the Rockefeller University. He apparently has a very distinguished career. He is a nuclear power advocate, and I believe that the basic premise that he has made is built upon a particular metric which he has devised and upon which he uses as a measure of nuclear power against all other forms of renewable energy. I'll just read you from his the abstract of the article that was in the International Journal of Nuclear Governments, Economy, and Ecology. Quote, "Renewables are not green. To reach the scale at which they would contribute importantly to meeting global energy demand, renewable sources of energy such as wind, water, and biomass cause serious environmental harm. Measuring renewables in watts per square meter that each source could produce smashes these environmental idols. Nuclear energy is green." I'll let you read the rest. It's online. The fundamental flaw here is that he takes this metric, the amount of energy that each renewable can be produced in terms of watts of power output per square meter, as the only way in which to measure renewable energy. And that is something that is inconceivable to me, and I'll tell you why. First, let me take a step back. Every time I read an article that talks about the future of renewable energy, and particularly those that are kind of down on it, I'm looking for a couple of red flags. The first red flag is, do they mention reduce energy demand? The second red flag is, do they mention nanotechnology? The third red flag is, do they mention hydrogen? Well, I've only got two red flags here because the professor does bring in hydrogen. But by not talking about reduced energy demand, by not talking about nanotechnology and the accelerated rate in which a variety of renewable energies are going to grow based on developments in nanotechnology, that undermine his argument significantly. A lot of his data is based on the assumptions that were made, I think, a couple years ago on what the future energy demands are going to be in 2050. One of the important considerations is that when those projections were made, there was no building into the projection what would happen if there was a significant reduction in energy demand. When you talk sustainability, when you talk renewable energy, the first premise is to reduce energy demand. So I believe that perhaps some of his projections are based on a misperception of what the realities are going to be in 2050 because the reduction of energy demand has not been built in. Let me talk a minute about the reduction of energy demand because it's really terribly important. One, over 600 mayors in cities across the United States have signed a contract to protect the environment, to protect the climate. That's 600 cities where they are already saying we're going to reduce energy demand in our cities by 7% by 2010, even though the area around the city is growing. The second is about 300 administrators from colleges and universities in the United States who recently met and pledged that they were going to make their campuses carbon neutral. Then there was the meetings that were held as a result of the Clinton Foundation initiative, where mayors from some of the largest cities in the world came, and something on the order of about $15 billion is going to be made available to them to reduce energy demand in their cities. The goal that they have is to reduce energy demand from 20 to 40%. Now, when you start thinking in terms of where that energy demand, the reduction in energy demand is going, then you start to see that some of the problems that we thought were insoluble are in fact solvable.